and welcome to Roanoke County Today. I'm Teresa Hall, Roanoke County's Public Information Director. Coming up on this month's show, we'll introduce you to Howard Hall, Roanoke County's next police chief. Plus, we'll tell you what Roanoke County is doing to help educate young people and parents on the dangers of bath salts. Those segments and much more, hope you'll stay with us.
Volunteer firefighters save lives.
Do you have what it takes? Visit RoanokeCountyVA.gov/FRvolunteer.
Or call 540-777-8706 to become a volunteer today.
In recent months, you've probably heard a lot about the problems associated with bath salts. Joining me now is Lieutenant Chuck Mason, who's with the Roanoke County Police Department and has been involved in an active effort to try and educate parents and the community about the dangers associated with these chemicals. Lieutenant Mason, thank you so much for your time. I know you have been very active, as well as many members of the police department and board of supervisors, to try to work with other localities around here to get the word out about the problems associated with bath salts. And when did this effort start? And tell me who all has been involved in it to try to put together seminars and different meetings to get this word out.
Spring of this year, probably around March, every month the chiefs of police, the sheriffs, Commonwealth's attorneys, and some various other public safety folks, federal, state, local level, we meet and discuss issues pertaining to law enforcement affecting the Valley area as a whole, not just one specific jurisdiction. And by spring of this year, between Roanoke City and Roanoke County and City of Salem, we were starting to have enough encounters with this series of substances that sort of generally called bath salts or synthetic drugs that it was becoming an issue across the valley. We became educated or attempted to educate ourselves on it to some degree. We brought one of the chemists over from the forensic lab and got
a lot to learn.
A lot to learn, very, very much so. And realizing that it was becoming increasingly popular across the valley, particularly with our kids, younger people and
very much
teenagers.
Concerning.
Yes, it was. Part of the issue was that most of the time people don't have any real idea what it is they're putting in their bodies. It's packaged and marketed in such a way that it is appealing. If you look at the packages, you distinctly have the impression this is intended for youth.
Right.
You can't come away with any other impression
but that. The marketing
but that.
is for that age group. Yes.
Absolutely. And that's where we were seeing the problems. The problem is you don't know what's in it.
When we say chemicals, that's exactly what we mean.
It was like a chemistry experiment almost. Moreover, you buy the same packaging from different places. The chemicals, the chemical composition wasn't even necessarily the same.
Wow. And the fact that you can also, well, before July 1, you were able to buy this stuff in the store. So a lot of people think, well, if I can buy it over the counter, it's fine. There's no harm, and that's not the case at all with these bath salts.
Sure. Under Virginia law, prior to July 1, a number of these substances were still legal. Federal law jumped on board a little earlier than that, but under Virginia law, which is what the police departments enforce, it was still not a controlled drug. These chemicals, a number of these chemicals since July 1 are now illegal under Virginia law too, so we can enforce them more directly without necessarily just having to go through the federal agencies to do it.
So if people see these products, which we're showing as you and I are talking, if you see these products in a store, please contact the police because they should not be for sale.
They should not be, and we're very interested in hearing it if they are.
And for parents and grandparents who are watching, what types of stores do you want your child to avoid so they're not purchasing these bath salt products?
Most of the ones that we were aware of were being marketed in the various tobacco stores.
Okay. And what are the dangers associated with bath salts? I've heard that they can do damage the first time, or it may have lasting impacts on people.
Well, first and foremost, you don't know what it is you're getting. And as I alluded to earlier, the same packaging may not be the same thing, 2 times in a row. Some of the behaviors that we are seeing associated with people using these types of substances, very paranoid behavior, combative behavior.
Very violent.
Very violent. Individuals who are under the influence of these substances don't feel pain. So
that's very dangerous.
it is. When the police try to subdue them, the normal tactics that we would use to bring somebody under control don't necessarily work.
I've heard the word superhuman strength used many times to describe these folks on these chemicals.
Right. Between not feeling pain and the adrenaline that dumps into the system, it's very much so.
Right. Well, we've talked about bath salts as being one of the issues that the police department is working with other jurisdictions to try to get education out about. But I understand from some of our discussions this week that another area of concern deals with methamphetamine labs.
Yes.
And that the police department and other localities have been seeing an increase in those in the Roanoke Valley.
Right. We almost like watching an infestation spread.
That is scary.
Coming from states to the west of us and moving into Virginia, the western part of Virginia to begin with, and now in our area, is the issue of increased use of methamphetamine, in particular for us, the methamphetamine labs that are popping up. Most of these are very small, very unsophisticated labs. We refer to them as one pots.
But even though it's one pot, it can do a lot of danger.
Because of the chemicals.
Or do a lot of damage, I should say.
Certainly, because of the chemicals being used. There's fire hazards, explosive hazards, if you have enough or aren't sufficiently careful. The acids and some of the other chemicals that are used in the process, which are available anywhere. It's not like you can pretty much go to any place that sells camping supplies, for example, and purchase the majority of these things. The other big ingredient necessary is ephedrine or pseudoephedrine, which you would, it's
cold medication.
Cold medication, right.
And they put all this into a melting pot of sorts, and
sure,
Lord knows what comes out.
Right. The residue that's very often left behind is damaging for people who might, say, a hotel room where somebody's been cooking this stuff.
And that's where you're seeing some of these pop up in.
We are, yes. Houses, certainly apartments, motel rooms. They're easy, like I said, they're easy to hide. I mean, you can put the entire works in a backpack or even a coat pocket if you've got a bulky coat. They're easy to hide.
Well, for folks who are watching, what should they be aware of if they see or if they wonder if something like this type of activity is going on at a house in their neighborhood? What would be some of the signs to watch for?
Chemical odors, for one thing.
What would this type of odor smell like?
Very strong chemical smells. I would beware of like 2-liter bottles that have like a sandy residue in the bottom. That's very often a good sign too, and they're just discarded anywhere. It's not like there's any effort to clean up after themselves.
And that's a real danger as well. You had mentioned batteries too. If you see somebody purchasing a lot of batteries or carrying a lot of batteries into their house.
Yes, ma'am. Specifically lithium batteries.
Okay. So 2 liters lithium.
Camping fuel.
Camping fuel.
Right.
These are the types of mixtures.
Right.
You know, a lot of people feel, well, I hesitant to call because they think it's my neighbor and maybe I'm wrong, but their gut's telling them otherwise. Their gut's telling them something. What do you advise them to do?
One, if your gut's telling you something, there's probably a reason.
Okay.
I'd listen to it and give us a call.
Call right away.
Yes.
Don't wait.
Certainly. Just the fact that we get a phone call doesn't mean the police are necessarily going to be busting in. It gives us an opportunity to identify somebody we might be wanting to pay attention to, and then we'll attempt to start building a case at that point. If there's nothing to it, we're going to determine that pretty quickly and move on to the next complaint. But if there is something to it, then we'll work and build. An awful lot of very successful drug enforcement cases have been made on the basis of a citizen's tip.
Very good. All right, well, some very good advice that you've shared with us today. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Chuck Mason with Roanoke County Police Department. We appreciate the time you've taken to talk with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Enjoy a day at the beach without the drive at Splash Valley. Plunge down 2 3.5-story water slides, relax in the current river or pool deck, splash in our aquatic spray ground. Get wet and have fun at Splash Valley. Open daily through Labor Day.
Well, the Citizens Police Academy is a great program that we put on here at the county. The program lasts for 13 weeks, and it gives an opportunity for citizens to get an inside look at the police department and to see what we do on a daily basis, what all of our specialized units do, and everything goes into coordination, how it all works together. The next class is actually scheduled to start the last Tuesday in August. We'll be accepting applications up until the week prior. You can go online and register, or you can contact me through my website or my email address, or you can contact me by phone, and I can get you a hard copy application if you'd like. Roanoke County's been doing the Citizens Police Academy for about 15 years now. It started many years ago through the Community Policing Office. The program was designed, just like I said, to kind of bridge the gap between the citizens of Roanoke County and the police department, and to give them that inside look at what the department does. And we like to have that positive interaction with the community and with the public, because a lot of times the only interaction they may have is through experiences at court or possibly in a traffic stop. So we like to have a more positive influence and interaction with the citizens. I would say that it's just as rewarding for the officers who participate and who help put on the programs as the citizens who attend, because they get that line of communication. They get to answer questions that maybe they wouldn't otherwise know that the citizens have, but it also gives them an opportunity to educate the citizens as to what we do and then the type of functions we have here. It's actually been a very successful program. A lot of the citizens have given us very positive feedback as far as their experiences, the things that they like. And what we try to do is the program is very dynamic, so we like to make changes based on citizen recommendations. If a citizen sees something that they enjoyed or that they'd like to change, we try to apply that in the next class. One of the things that citizens seem to enjoy is our range weeks. We actually do 2 weeks back-to-back at the range. 1 week they will get to go up to the range and they'll get to experience some of the firearms that our officers carry. And they'll also get another week they go up to the range and they get to drive one of our police cars through an obstacle course that our recruits and then also our officers do in their training. My email address is eorange@roanokecountyva.gov, and my office number is 777-8651. And I'd love to hear any questions or comments the citizens may have, and I would love any citizens that are interested in attending, if they have questions or concerns prior to contact me. I'd love to clarify any misconceptions they may have, and I would welcome to join us here. It starts August the 28th. It runs for 13 weeks. Our final week is actually the graduation week. It's held at the Board of Supervisors, and then we will celebrate with a dinner afterwards with our graduates. The program hours normally run from 6:30 till 9 p.m. Occasionally we'll have a 3-hour night where it'll run 6 to 9, and those are normally on the visits when we're out off-site. If we're going to take a jail tour, if we're doing one of our range nights, and then we'll also do occasionally we'll have a 7 to 9 night, and that's some of our shorter classes. But if they can expect a 6 to 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights.
I went through last year's academy from 2011, and it went from August to the end of November. I enjoyed it. It taught me a lot about the way things are done in the police departments, and I enjoyed it. It was very interesting. One thing was an officer has to be certified to do the DUI checks, and I thought all officers could do the breathalyzer and they can't. So I didn't know that. So the shooting was my favorite part.
Was it?
Yes. So I really enjoyed that. So that, and the driving was great too, but my favorite was the shooting. They should do it. It's informative. You learn a lot. I was also able to do a ride along with one of the officers one night, and that was great. It just gave me a different view of police officers.
Roanoke Valley Television RVTV Channel 3 is on Facebook. Go to www.rvtv.org and click on the Facebook icon to like RVTV3 today, your government and educational access station.
Good afternoon. My name is Chief Rick Birch, and I have the honor of being the Chief of Roanoke County Fire and Rescue. And today's segment will be on a couple of recent EMS awards we won for our department by the two individuals next to me. There are 10 categories that are up for awards, and this year we were fortunate to win 2 of those awards. The first one is for the Outstanding Pre-Hospital Educator, and the second one is for the Outstanding Contribution to EMS for Children. And I have both of our award recipients with us today, and we'll introduce them to you in just a second. We're very proud of these awards. 2 years ago, we were fortunate enough to win the Outstanding EMS Agency Award. We were able to win that award because of people like we have here today and our other providers that make our system the great system that it is. First, I'd like to introduce to you Jimmy Duran. Jimmy won the Outstanding Pre-Hospital Educator Award. Jimmy, tell us a little bit about your background and the award that you won.
I first got into EMS with the Mount Pleasant First Aid Crew back in 1982, Mount Pleasant Fire Department, and for the first couple of years did a lot of training, Chief. Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, EMS training, all the way up to my paramedic. Actually, tomorrow will be the anniversary of me receiving notification I passed my paramedic. It's been 24 years as a paramedic, National Registry paramedic.
Great accomplishment.
And it's kind of anticlimactic getting your paramedic and where do I go from here? And I was like, well, you know, let's go ahead and start teaching. So I went ahead and took instructor classes, and I'm an educator in Pediatric Advanced Life Support, PEP, it's another pediatric course. I'm an EMT instructor. I'm a fire instructor 4. I'm also a ALS coordinator, and you guys have thankfully placed me in as program director of our intermediate program. And
that's at a regional training academy that includes personnel from Roanoke City and the city of Salem
yes.
as well.
Yes. Yeah, we do a regional concept on that with a lot of cooperation between multiple agencies to get those educational opportunities offered. And it's also kind of interesting too that the first EMT class I took at Virginia Western, I'm now teaching that same program. I've been teaching at Virginia Western now, I think, 17 years.
So full circle.
Almost, sir. Almost, sir.
Okay. Well, how'd you feel when you found out you won this award?
Honored. I was honored that you and Chief Simon and the rest of the staff nominated me for the position. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the vote of confidence, and it's something I really enjoy doing. Is doing the teaching and setting up the classes and stuff for you guys, and making sure we've got well-educated providers to provide for everybody in the citizens and visitors of Roanoke County.
And that's what makes that system so strong, that education. Well, thank you, Jimmy. Also, we have Brian Klingenfield with us, who won the Outstanding Award Contribution to EMS with Children. Brian, tell us a little bit about your background and what you did to win this award.
Thank you, Chief. Part of the requirements for this award have to do with injury prevention. It covers a full continuum of care. I think I mainly got the award for the injury prevention part that we do, where we teach fire and life safety topics. So not just fire safety things, but things such as pedestrian safety, bicycle safety, water safety, that we teach throughout the county to students, from preschoolers all the way up to high schoolers. And that's part of where that award came in.
And you just recently, you and some folks that work with you, the Character Academy. Tell us briefly about the Character Academy.
This was our 8th year for Character Academy. It's been a huge success for us. It's morphed a couple times and taken different shapes, but we've done one now for 8 years running, and it's very successful. We've gotten very positive comments back this year, especially a lot of kids who want to come back. We see a lot of repeat campers, and it's a program for middle school students that's designed to help them explore every aspect of a fire and EMS career, as well as learn some positive character traits such as teamwork and trustworthiness and responsibility and citizenship, and some of those kinds of things that they learn when they spend 2 or 3 days with us. And just that relationship that we build with the kids, I think, is really neat. We've actually had some past campers who've recently experienced difficult circumstances in their life, and their parents have and family members have let us know that, and we've been able to kind of step back into their lives a second time. So that's kind of neat as well.
I had the opportunity to visit one day during the camp this year, and you certainly could see the excitement on the kids' faces and the tremendous job that you did there. Tell us how you felt when you found out you won this award.
Like Jimmy, I felt honored, humbled. As I said the other day in front of the Board of Supervisors, I felt like I was doing my job. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's nice to get the recognition and happy that I can do it.
Well, thank you, Brian. Folks, and this is a regional award. We're in the Western Virginia region. There are several regions in the state, and when you win at the regional level, you go on to the Governor's Awards. You're automatically nominated for the Governor's Awards in these same categories. That is announced in November, so stay tuned. Hope maybe we're back with you in November. We can say that our folks won the Governor's Awards, but we're very proud of what they've done here. Thank you.
Volunteer firefighters respond to all types of emergencies. Volunteer firefighters fight fires. Volunteer firefighters save lives. Do you have what it takes? Visit RoanokeCountyVA.gov/FRVolunteer or call 540-777-8706 to become a Roanoke County Fire and Rescue volunteer firefighter.
Roanoke County's new police chief will report to work on August 13th. Howard Hall comes to Roanoke County with a wealth of knowledge and experience in law enforcement. Here now are some highlights where Chief Hall was introduced to the public for the first time by Roanoke County Administrator Clay Goodman.
Chief Hall is from Baltimore County, Maryland. He's had a 25-year career with the Baltimore County, Maryland Police Department. He served in a variety of capacities, working his way up from patrol officer to his final rank of captain. As captain, he twice served as a precinct commander, where he worked within a designated 42 square mile area with a population of 85,000, which adjoined Baltimore City. He also served as the face of the department for the chief and command staff, preparing and managing an operation budget of $13 million, and was responsible for directing staff of 150. He also served as director of the department's training academy and Personnel and Employment Division, which included K-9, Marine Patrol, Traffic, and Tactical units. He also spent approximately 8 years in command of administrative functions. He led the employment section for 3 years and was responsible for recruiting and hiring over 300 sworn personnel. Chief Hall has a Master of Public Administration degree from the University of Baltimore, a Bachelor of Arts in Government and Politics from the University of Maryland, a graduate certificate in police administration from the University of Baltimore, and he is a graduate of the FBI National Academy. He is a member of the following organizations. He's a member of the International Chiefs of Police Association. He's a member of that association's Highway Safety Committee and their National Law Enforcement Challenge Subcommittee. He's a member of the FBI National Academy Associates. He's a member of the Maryland's Chief of Police Association and serves on the Traffic Safety Commission for that association. Recently, Chief Hall has worked at Baltimore County with the opportunity to implement the data-driven approaches to crime and traffic safety, referred to as DDAX model. He worked not only with Baltimore County in the implementation of this model, but assisted other agencies across the country and frequently assisted National Highway Traffic Safety Administration with the further development of the model. In recognition of these efforts, Chief Hall has received NHTSA's Public Service Award, as well as the Distinguished Contribution to the Profession Award from the Baltimore County Foundation. He has served as an experienced team leader for the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies and a member of the adjunct faculty at the Institute of Police Technology and Management. His history at Baltimore County has been one of working collaboratively with community groups, government agencies, and other law enforcement agencies to develop solutions to public safety problems and implement innovative programs and projects. I now wish to introduce to you Chief Hall.
Clay, thank you very much for the kind words. I can't tell you how honored I am to have been selected as only the third police chief for the Roanoke County Police Department. Really a good and great day for me, and I'm happy to be here, and thank you for coming out so we have a chance to meet. I'd like to thank Clay and the entire selection committee for the confidence they've shown in me by making this selection. It's an important decision, an important position, and I will work very hard to live up to their high expectations. This morning I've had my first chance to meet with the staff of the police department, and I'm really glad that we had the opportunity to do that early on, so they had a chance to meet me ahead of time and not, hear the news from the news, so to speak. I'm looking forward to working with these folks that I have a very strong impression of already. My first task on August 13th, when I take over, is to learn. I'm coming from the outside. Today is the first opportunity I've had to meet anybody from the Roanoke County Police Department. So I need to take the time to learn about the people that work here, to learn about this community, and learn about the issues that we face related to public safety, and I will do that as my first priority. I'm looking forward to engaging with the community and those partners in terms of keeping this community safe. And I say keeping very deliberately because this is already a safe community, thanks to the people that are sitting in this room and working in this police department and have been active participants. And I will work very, very hard to keep it that way and keep this police department, an excellent police department, moving forward. I am excited about taking this position. I am very much looking forward to August the 13th when I will take over. Thank you very much.
Higher electric bills, sticker shock at the gas pump, energy can cost a ton, but it's easy to save money and give your budget a boost. Save hundreds of dollars in energy costs by doing just a little. An average household dedicates 11% of its energy budget to lighting. Using new lighting technologies can reduce energy use by 50 to 75%. One of the easiest and most cost-effective ways to cut energy bills is to replace conventional light bulbs with compact fluorescent lamps. They're more efficient and last 6 to 12 times longer. Remember, do a little, save a ton.
That's all for this month's edition of Roanoke County Today. We leave you now with some of the sights and sounds from Roanoke County's National Night Out Against Crime Neighborhood Celebration held at the Roanoke County Public Safety Center. Hope to see you again next month.
Kurt, fix it where the siren goes off. You want a pink one? I know you do. Yep. Say thank you, Josh.